Hello, everyone. It's Dan's All About Arsenal, 1886. We're just having a little bit of fun tonight. It's Friday night, nothing going on. The other half is out. The wife is out for a few drinks, and just thought it'd be fun to sort of see who's around and see who wants to have a chat. So I thought I'd just try like a LinkedIn. LinkedIn. No, that's not right. YouTube. We've got a link in the description. So if you're catching this, if you're just coming on, you can click on that and it will come in. But you can use your phone to jump on. This is how me and Josh done our recent podcast, which had a really lovely kind of following of people, a few people in the chat as well. And it's just a good, what else? If you're in on a Friday night and you're watching me, it must be bad. But obviously it's just to see kind of if this works. Really, it's just always fun to try these things out, isn't it? Over on TikTok as well at the moment. Again, that's a completely new thing to me. So from that side of things, anyone who's jumping on, who can see what's happening, absolutely get in touch, comment on TikTok. But obviously, if you want to kind of jump on as well, it'll be great to come over YouTube. You got a link in there and go from there. But I suppose if we're talking about kind of what recent events from an Arsenal point of view, obviously we've got the England game, England versus Serbia, which it went all right. We're already through. There's not really much jeopardy, from that side. So from our point of view, it was just more of a case of Arsenal boys don't pick up any injuries, and then we continue from there. But I would say to see both of our boys scoring as well. A few more people in the chat there on that. Hello, hi, how are you? Saliba. Yeah, good, mate. I'm really good, thank you. So we're doing a bit of a phone in. So anyone who's joining in on TikTok and you want to do a phone in on YouTube, there's a link in the description. If you go over to the web page, if you're not already subscribed, obviously. But equally, it'll be great to get someone on. You've all got a phone. You can just do it from your mobile, and then you can have a chat, and we can talk all about Arsenal from that side of things. But glad to see you. Good, bro. What have you been up to? Anything exciting? Obviously, on the world of TikTok over there. But obviously, phone in, Two Guns Boxing. Join in, mate. Join in. There's a link in the description. If you're up for it, come and have a chat. Like when you jumped on the other day. The topic itself is just generally Arsenal season so far, whatever you want to chat about, but football, Arsenal related. Obviously, it's an Arsenal kind of webpage. I'm assuming you're an Arsenal fan, Two Guns, but join in, click the link, it will just join you through. Just put your little name on the kind of studio, and it will just use your smartphone really to put you up. But come and have a chat, mate. Absolutely, we'd love to speak to you. And obviously, thanks to the support midweek on the podcast as well. And obviously, here we go. So, no life is boring without proper football. Mate, absolutely agree. No one likes international football like this at the moment. So, from that side of things, we need some, Premier League action back. But obviously, everyone on YouTube, hi, everyone. We're doing a bit of a live phone in. So, if you want to get involved, look at the description just below. There's a little link in there. Click that. It will give you a few things for the streaming service that I use. StreamYard, and all you have to do is put your name in the description and it will pop up that I've seen you're there. So all I'd say is just need either a webcam or your phone. Your smartphone would be absolutely adequate for it, and then we can have a chat. We can talk all the things about Arsenal. So it's a bit of fun, really. Hopefully, I think there was one injury potentially, didn't we, for Italy, and Calafiori didn't play. There was a bit of a niggle, but I mean, we've got about 3 left backs anyway, so we should be all right. I think we've got the cover, we've got the backup there, so we should be okay, I think. But obviously, no one else. Obviously, what do we think of the Serbia game? It'll be always good. Gooner Vinny. All right, 1 second. We're going to get someone in on the YouTube side, guys. So bear with me. There's a man, Vinny. How you doing?
This technology is too much for me, mate. How do I look?
Oh, how you doing? How you doing, mate? Thanks for coming on.
I'm very good.
Oh,
not
good,
quite. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, it's just nice to see someone's face. And obviously, we've had, I think, some bits and bobs on TikTok. I think you follow me on. I'm assuming, is that right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's when we first became acquainted, as they say.
Good man. So, how are things? How are things with you today?
No, things are good. You know what it's like, right? International break. Need I say more? You kind of twiddling your thumbs.
It's so true. I mean, no one likes international football until it gets to the tournament, and you go, right, now I want to watch. Season's done. We can concentrate on the World Cup. But at the moment, I'm just not interested. We've qualified already. So it's
To be honest
apart
with
from,
you, I feel exactly the same way. I mean, I'm gagging for the World Cup itself. Can't wait. It's one of those occasions where the whole family get involved. Do you know what I mean?
yes.
And we all,
Yeah.
we'll sit down, watch the tournament together. Apart from
Yeah.
that, the rest of my family's not really interested in football. But I can't wait for the World Cup. International breaks. I just have to somehow get through them.
100%. And I think it's no jeopardy, as I was saying on, I'm kind of streaming on both things here, but it's no jeopardy at the moment because obviously we're already through. Yesterday's game was like, well, let's just try a few different players out. Let's rotate people. But it was good, we've had Saka and Eze come on, score a good couple of goals there, to be fair, which we're always happy to see. But obviously Arsenal doing it for England, which is fantastic. So I love that. So what do you think?
I'll tell you, the only time it's made the international break interesting for me is because Tuchel's the manager, not because of him specifically, but I'm enjoying his approach, whereas he's kind of he seems to be more system first. He knows how he wants the team to play, and then he has to pick the players that can operate optimally within the system.
Yeah, got you.
And I'm finding that approach pretty interesting.
But he talks about the structure. He's all about the structure. He wants to get that right. And we've got so many number 10s for the England squad, which has got a real headache for him. It'll be interesting to see what he picks at the end because there's a bit of a headache for him, to be honest with you. But we'll have to see, But I think he's still got time. We've got one more game left, a pointless qualifier to get through. And then we see if he rotates anyone else to, test them out, really. But we're one of the favourites as well, which still blows my mind because we're always a favourite.
They never learn.
It's such a failure. Oh dear, we'll see what happens, I think. But I'm looking forward to it. And I mean, there's still a lot of people still to qualify, I think. But any favourites that stand out in your mind? Is it the usual?
It's probably just going to be the usual, to be honest. I mean, I don't see any team being head and shoulders above anyone else. If you look at the top 6 or 8 teams, they can pretty much all beat each other. England would be able to beat anybody on their day if they perform optimally and can score a penalty. But then, by the same token, Germany can beat us, Spain can beat us, the South American team can beat us. So it's pretty open.
Yeah, and that's the thing about the World Cup because you are literally seeing people from all over the world, and it's teams of people you don't get those matchups often, which is always interesting. But I do love it, and I will watch probably any team play on any day because you just kind of get absorbed by it.
I'll get swept along by the whole thing. I'll literally, when it comes to the World Cup, I'll literally I'll have a fantasy team. I'll do predictions, and I'll watch any match going. I'll either be watching it or I'll at least have it on in the background. Anything.
For sure. No, it's always. I know my dad always used to have the wall chart. He used to be filling it out religiously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, World Cup wall chart. Love those. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, of course.
This is an Arsenal question.
Go for it.
I'm sure you've been asked this before. I know you've been asked this before. I don't know whether you've been asked this before on your channel. So the question is, Premier League or Champions League?
Oh, the age-old question. It's so hard, isn't it? Because in one breath you go, we've never won the Champions League. So you go, it's like, and it will shut a lot of people up. Because you win the league, I go, we have never won in Europe. So I think realistically, that is probably the one. But I want to win both, Vinny. I want both. I'm not greedy at all. But why not? Let's be honest, we've got the squad for it. And we're favourites for both somehow. Not we've won either for ever or a long time. But I do think, people are, putting us as favourites, and which blows my mind. And it's so early on. But I do think we play well in Europe. And I like how we play in Europe because I think teams are a lot more open and we can play our kind of game. But I think the Premier League is so tight, isn't it? You got the City's coming back. Really is the only, I think, main contender at the moment. I can't see Liverpool have really. I mean, they've lost 5 games out of 6 recently, and you think it's just not the team they were last year at all. And I think, Slot. I don't know. I've got a lot of friends who are Liverpool fans already going, I don't think we need to get rid of him. I think, and I'm like, wow, it's mad. I know he's had one season in. He's had a blinder, but he inherited a fantastic team. Didn't mess with too much. And I think is it Luis Diaz? I think it was a massive loss for them as well. I think that was
Yeah,
a huge mistake getting rid of him, and they've bought in these Rolls Royce expensive players who have done nothing. And I mean, I think they'll click one day, but not
yeah.
at the moment. Which I'm loving, to be honest with you. So, but I think then you've got Man City who are relentless and go on a hell of a run. So it's really tricky which way it's going to go. To be honest with you, so.
So, I
It's,
mean, in my mind, I kind of predicted this before a ball was kicked this season.
mm,
I was always of the mind that last season the team was still operating under the whole Klopp era and style of play.
yeah.
It seemed to me that Slot was only really tweaking things, but pretty much let the team almost get on with it, and then just obviously tweak some of the. That's what it looked to me anyway. He tweaked some of the tactics, and obviously
Mhm.
got a result. I knew season 2 would be where he'd bring in some of his own players and he'd
Mhm.
really stamp his own style on it. And to be honest with you, I wasn't predicting that they would win the league this season, not by
Okay.
any shot. Although when I saw the transfers they made, I thought, "Oh God, I might end up eating those words."
Yeah,
But then in my mind, I still thought it's going to take those players a longer time to gel. So I had a feeling that the wheels would come off a little bit for them this season, and it looks like I'm being proved right, and I hope it continues that way.
Good call. I hope you put some money on it, mate. From from that side of things, it would have been a rocket bet. Who did you have as favourites starting off? Then would it have been Arsenal or City, something like that?
No. Arsenal all the way. Before a ball was kicked, after we'd made our transfers.
Oh, true.
And to be honest with you, my first prediction was, and this was stupid. My first prediction was, oh, you know what? We could be looking at another invincible season.
Yeah.
And obviously,
I mean,
a few games in, and that fell off.
yeah, very quickly. I mean, we can use one's fine. I can take that. It'll be like the George Graham era. He had that one nearly invincible season, lost one game.
Exactly. Yeah.
But Vinny, I've got a question that's come in from my fellow podcaster Josh. But he just out of interest, I put this to you. But what was your thoughts on the press going on about Lewis Skelly looking to get more game time elsewhere? He's put absolute tosh in my opinion. So,
no chance.
Yeah,
no
exactly.
chance.
I mean, let's be honest. He's Arsenal through and through. He's number 49. He loves the club. He's just signed a new contract. He's not going anywhere. But I think it's international week. They're running low on news.
Exactly. It's just talk. People scratching around for news and something to say. No truth in it. He knows he's got his entire, God willing, he's got his entire career ahead of him. It's just starting out. He rocketed into a number 1 position, mainly through injuries, but also because he performed so well last season. He's still got a ton to learn, loads to develop. I don't think he's going to be in such a. If he was 28, 29, coming towards the latter end of his career, maybe. But he's just starting out. There's no rush.
No, exactly. He's 19. He's like, it's nothing. And like you say, it was only last year injuries propelled him. And obviously, I've got a feeling that if Calafiori's picked up a little injury, he's going to be possibly. But then you got Nkapia as well. So it's really hard to go which way do you go, because he's also got that competition there of an experienced player. But I think Skelly starts maybe over Nkapia, I think.
To be honest with you, there's so much football to play.
Exactly.
And football, especially in this area, is so physically taxing. We're going to need all 3 of them. No matter what happens, they're all going to get game time. They're all going to play. And whatever we win this season, all 3 of them are going to have a part to play in it. One of them's going to be out at some point, injured for a stretch, hopefully not too long. And others are going to get a look in. Once they get in, it may be hard for whoever went out with an injury to displace them. They're all going to get a shout. So
it's been like
plenty more football to play.
Exactly. I mean, look at Calafiori last year. He was injury, bound all the whole time. Hence why Lewis Skelly had his big season. And Nkapia, obviously, he's got the experience. He had the invincible season with by Leverkusen. So that's where he's come from. He's a good pedigree, great man to learn off, I imagine as well. But he's still in every competition. So we've still got Cup to play. We've got Carabao Cup to play. We've got the league and Champions League. So, like you're saying, you're right. There's loads of games to play. So I completely.
If we want to go deep in all competitions, we're going to need everyone, and everyone's going to get game time. Everyone's going to play. So I don't think anyone should be worried.
Exactly that. And I think we've got, some big games coming up as well. Obviously, I love the North London derby because we've been so dominant in it as well for such a long time. So
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see how he sets up for that. But I think he's got his kind of favourite 11, but we've got
yeah.
players returning possibly for that game. How do you see the Tottenham game? What are your thoughts on potential lineups and injury returns? And
I mean, it's going to depend. Well, the thing is, I don't think anybody. Well, it's hard to say who's likely to be coming back, right? So obviously, it's all kind of hearsay at the moment because we don't really know. We don't really know the
not until the
Havertz
press conference,
data.
really, is it? Yeah, I think that's what's going
Yeah.
to happen.
So yeah, we. I mean, what do you know? Have you heard anything about who is
Well,
definitely coming back or maybe coming back?
so you heard initially there was like there's potentially 6 players, but I think Gabriel Jesus is out for longer than
Yeah,
you've seen him
for
training.
sure.
It's the end of the year still, and Odegaard I think is the one who's going to be out latest, and then gives you 4 players coming back, which was let's go over it. Gyökeres was one.
Yeah,
You got Havertz,
yeah,
Noni Madueke, and I
yeah.
can't think of the last one. Who's the last who was out? There was one.
Um, Odegaard, we said Odegaard, didn't we?
Odegaard, yeah.
Odegaard, Madueke, Gyökeres, and
Might be it's just M4, and then the other,
No,
yeah.
Martinelli.
Oh, how are we forgetting Martinelli? I literally put something up yesterday
Yeah,
saying Ryan Martinelli. But I mean, I think Trossard, in fairness to him, he's as a starting player, he's really stepped up and he's
yeah.
playing some of his best football. It seems, and obviously he's getting older. Older. He's 31, but he's still playing. And the goal he scored the other day was unbelievable, like a little rocket, wasn't it?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I put a video. Oh my god, I'm still getting pelted for this. I put a video up on TikTok, and it
Yeah.
was with me watching that goal live.
Oh, really?
And I've literally, when he scored, I called it just before he hit it. I literally
Wow.
shouted out, "Hit it! I know you can do it!" And then he's
Yeah.
banged it, and it's gone in. And I've literally hit the roof. I've absolutely hit the roof. But I was saying things like, "We've done it! Three
Yeah.
points! Blah blah blah." You know what I mean? Top of
That's
the
it.
league, 6 points, all that sort of stuff. I was saying on the
Oh,
video,
yeah.
and obviously, you know how things turned out. And
I
you can
know.
imagine the comments.
It's too much, too much. I'm going to try because I think I'm just going to try turning another camera around so we can see the screen potentially, Vinny, so we can see you as well. Don't it's not the best angle. I don't think we can. I can't. Trying to kind of share because I don't think I can hear your audio, which is that's the unknown thing with TikTok. So you've got people on there, but they can't hear us, mate. But for me, it's all about trying to push the YouTube narrative. But TikTok's just crazy, isn't it? For the amount of people and abuse from rivals.
Yeah.
I put that one post up about Arteta. I think he's had about
Oh,
80,000 views, and
yeah.
it was more to do with him. What he's done since he's come to the club, and I think it was a tweet or something from someone else, and the amount of people who jumped all over it. I was saying about he's only won an FA Cup with someone else's team. He's got rid of the
Yeah.
deadwood, but he's brought up all the young talent. He's coming through. He's a decent manager. I'm gonna have to. I'll tell you what. I'm going to come out for it. I'll read it to you, Vinny, because it was decent. But the amount of people who honestly jumped all over it was crazy. So let me tell you where we're at with it. So where is it? Okay. So it reads, Alan, so this is Alan Jameson. It was Mikel Arteta is an example for young managers around the world. He joined Arsenal under severe crisis. He cleared the deadwood, won the FA Cup, built a strong team by making clever signings, turned young players into class players. Don't forget, this is his first managerial job, and it's seen 79,000 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
4,000 likes and 1,000 comments, mainly from rivals,
Yeah.
absolutely kicking off, just saying, "What have you won? He's won nothing. He's not any good." And it just kind of made me laugh, really.
They, they don't get it, right? I honestly believe they don't get it. And the thing is, I'm not like, some Arteta fanboy, Arteta in all day long. I'm not saying that at all. But I
Mhm.
do believe he's done enough, brought us from far enough to believe in and to give him more time. And the question I always say is, okay, for anybody that's saying Arteta out, who would you actually get in his place? What's the
There we go. Vinny, if you are watching, I'll just wait for you to jump back on, mate. But I started hearing your who would you get instead of Mikel Arteta? Who would you guys? But we'll just wait for Vinny for a second to jump back in. But Vinny, if you're there, mate, do the same before. I think you might have knocked it, and I'm assuming you've accidentally logged out. But let's see other comments. Apologies. Have a look. Let's have a look here. So, hello. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. You've got obviously 3 people watching. Come and say hello. Come and make a comment. Let's have a chat. Any questions while we wait for our good man Vinny? It was delightful to chat. Hopefully, we'll get Vinny back in. Do guns boxing. Want to get involved, mate? Absolutely. You've got the link in the description. But Vinny, yeah, no. Who would I get in? There's no one I want. Is the honest answer. If we were getting rid of Mikel Arteta, there is literally nobody I would want. If gun to my head, I would say you've got like the. There we go.
Hold on. How's that?
He's back.
How's that look?
Well, I mean, it's fine. All you've got a crazy light going in the background, but nothing you can do about that, I don't think.
Yeah, I wasn't really prepared for this.
No, sorry, no warning at all. It's a lonely Friday night, and I'm just sort of thought, well, why not? Let's get on board. But you were saying about who would you pick?
I mean, that's not so much a question for you, but for anybody that's saying, Arteta's done nothing and we should get rid of him. I'm like, okay, well, who would you honestly? I mean, okay, let me put the question to you.
Yeah,
if things weren't to pan out this season, and we end up with no silverware, would you be calling for his head?
No, depends on the context. So it depends on if we're second again, and if we're in a final or a semi or whatever, we're competing. We're knocking on the door. How can you get rid of him? Because you're going to get somebody else. We're resetting the clock, and we still got a squad, but you're completely changing the culture and everything else. Whoever's coming in, so I'd think you'd be bonkers too. And I'm a big Arteta fan. I've never been an Arteta out. I'm a big supporter. I love his passion and how and what he's done. He's made us defensively strong, as we can see from the 8 clean sheets we just had. And from that sort of thing, I love what he's about. You know, I watched the Prime documentary when it first came out, and I just love him. He's so good, but he needs to win something for himself. But I'm not going to get rid of him if he's up there again. If we're down in Man United 17th, or if it was last season, and we're really struggling, then it's a different story. And of course, but if I was going to pick one person, if I had a gun to my head, it would probably be someone like Cesc Fabregas, who's doing really well at Como. Got the links, and he was one of my favourite players growing up. So, my comment here from Josh, but he says exactly the same. He'd go for Fabregas, and I completely agree, because that's the only person now. If I had to, I don't want to, but if I had to, it would be the guy. I'd go, do you want to come back? You're doing well, and because there was a story there, and I think there was like Henri was there, Wenger was there, all watching them play a Como game, and I was like, I can see it happening one day. You know, watch this space. But, you know, we are a team typically who have our managers for a long, long time. And I much prefer to have him for the next 10, 15 years, you know, competing like a Wenger. But I think Arsene Wenger had it harsh, you know, towards the end, because we had the new stadium being built and we struggled. And I think he always said his biggest achievement was keeping us like top 4 for so long, like no money. But was ultimately his downfall to a certain extent with the fans. But I still, you know, absolutely adored him as a manager, but I had, you know, when I grew up, it was the George Graham era when I was much younger, and mainly Arsene Wenger was the main manager for me, I suppose, in my kind of when I was paying more attention to it. When you get to the age where you go, okay, what's going on? And obviously the Henry era, the Bergkamp era, we've been so lucky when you look back at the history of it, and there's a bit of a dark age in between towards the end of Wenger's reign. But and Emery really didn't get a chance. But I think they made it, you know, they changed very quickly on that side. So,
which I'm kind of glad they did. To me, the football wasn't great.
No,
I don't know what you thought.
No, I think it's like anything. You know, he goes on to an Aston Villa, and he's played some good football on a team that just maybe suits him more. He's been able to, you know, adapt it and have a bit more time, and they're playing really well, Aston Villa. I've got no issues with him at all, but he just wasn't for us. Where I think as soon as Arteta come in, he made a huge, you know, strides and changes, and he had a tough job. And I mean, I don't know how we won the FA Cup, and not that makes sense. It is kind of amazing. but
Yeah.
we're so close, and the fact we're competing, buzzing. That's what you go to win. And I've never gone to the Emirates recent time and been worried or lost a game. Every game I've seen, we've either pretty much won. I don't think I've ever seen a draw because I don't go often. It's just when I get a chance. But do you ever get to go?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only a Red member, so for me, it's entering a ballot. Usually unsuccessful in the ballot, which is fair enough. But obviously, just the fact that you've entered the ballot then allows you to jump on the ticket exchange when it's open and then buy tickets. So personally, I normally each season I'll normally have some goals. So previous season I've been like, okay, I'll go to every London derby and make sure I do that. This season, the plan is to go to just as many home games as possible, not including Champions League, but definitely including the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup, because those tickets are generally going to be a bit cheaper. I'll get to take one of my sons with me as well.
Oh,
but I know I can't go to every single home game because then the missus will be.
Are you close by? Are you kind of whereabouts? Are you in the world?
I'm east. So I'm like far, East London / Essex.
Oh,
so I've got to travel in. But here's the thing, right? So it's funny that you say, do I go often and stuff? Because I've only actually been going for the last few seasons. Now I'll tell you a little story, right? A little story, very quick one. Don't want to bore anyone.
I'm intrigued.
Well, so okay, you're into social media. You've got your own channel, which is growing. You're doing good things already, right?
Thank you.
But do you realize that you may already realize this, but do you realize that through your channel and through the service and the entertainment that you provide on your social media platforms, that you actually could be creating new Arsenal fans? Have you ever thought about that?
I haven't. I'll be honest. No, I have not. But I do drag people to, watch games if it's down the pub or my kids are at home. I've got 3 girls and no one's interested. So, this is my outlet. But no, it's a good fact, mate. I've never thought about that because I had no choice, about who I supported. I was born into an Arsenal baby grow. It was literally. So I've got pictures being held, dad, and there was never any choice. But I'm so glad because I've always loved what the team are and represent and how they are and just the players we've had, the legends and stuff like that. So we're so lucky. But yeah, I would never change it, and I'm so pleased. And I'll get the odd game, luckily, because we have one of our sort of family members has a couple of season tickets who they go regularly, but they won't do Champions League. So I get more Champions League games because they don't do evening. So I'm running there after work. It's about a 45-minute train from where I am. It's not bad, and love it. And it's been really good. And we play well in Europe. I was at the Atletico Madrid game, which was great to see. All goals down the end. It was unbelievable. Atmosphere was banging. It was so good. But you get a good game, it changes everything.
So there's nothing like it when you get to a good game like that. There's nothing like it, and you can't wait to go back again. But just to finish my story, and the reason why I say that is because if I continue with YouTube, right, and if I continue with TikTok, one of the angles that I would be hitting at it would be at how can I obviously share, as you do, we share the passion for the team, for football in general, and would have phone-ins and stuff like this. But how can I actually encourage others who either may be on the fence, but how can I encourage them to come along, come to a game and really get into it? And now this is the reason why, right? So growing up, when I was really young, so we're talking 7, 8, 9 years old, Liverpool were top of the league, right? So if anybody says, which team do you like? I'll be like, Liverpool, John Barnes. You know what I mean? That was my era.
Got you.
but obviously, I can't say I supported Liverpool, but, if anybody asked me, I'd say Liverpool. If I was watching the match and Liverpool were playing, I'd want them to win. 9 times out of 10, they did. So that just reinforced it. That was until, I think, 89 when Arsenal beat Liverpool to the league. Then my brother took the piss out of me so much, I didn't want anything to do with football after that. but which is true. I didn't really have too much to do with football through my later teenage years and into my early 20s. I would go because I live the closest Premier League ground to me is West Ham. So if anybody had any freebie tickets, I'd go to West Ham games because I'd go and watch a game of football.
Mm-hmm.
But every time I went, my heart just wasn't really. I'd go and I'd be entertained and I'd look around at the crowd, a nice atmosphere, and that would be nice. But my heart wasn't really in it. So if people ask me, which team do you support? I say, yeah, West Ham. But I wouldn't say I didn't mean it, but my heart wasn't in it.
No.
And then one day, a friend of mine offered me a ticket. No, rewind a little bit. Then I used to watch a lot of YouTube anyway, and I came across FTV. These came across it during the infamous days. I think it was Wenger's last season and a half, where there was a lot of backlash from, sections of fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I would watch AFTV religiously to hear the likes of, DT, Troops, etc., all the whole crew. Yeah. And I was literally, for me, I was enthralled every time they did like one of the what do they call it? Outside the ground where people come up and they'll do interviews and stuff.
Yeah,
fan cams. Yeah, I'm telling you, I was intrigued. It was like watching a soap for me. I used to love watching the fan cams, and from there, I just kind of got interested in what Arsenal were doing.
Okay.
Then one day, a friend of mine offered me tickets to go to. It was Arsenal versus Brentford Carabao Cup 2018.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'd been watching FTV and stuff, I knew a lot of the players, I knew some of the history of the club and so on and so forth. So I had a bit of a vested interest, but I didn't know what to expect. When I say I went along, and what I saw, I never ever thought I'd ever see at a football match. So I saw people of every age, every colour, religious persuasion, gender, orientation, and there was just such a mix of people there. I couldn't believe it. Men, women, every colour, every religion, everything represented. And I'd never ever seen that at a football match before. Wow. When I went into the ground, it was the same inside the ground, and literally I was just talking to random people around me, and they were so friendly. Literally from that day, I fell in love. And in my mind, I was just thinking, oh my God, this is what I've been missing. Do you know what I mean? This is all this time when I've wanted to be interested in football, but never found anything that really took me. I went to that game and I absolutely fell in love. Wow. Absolutely fell in love. So that was 2018. So you can see I'm quite new.
Yeah. But that's when you fell in love on that. That's unbelievable. It's a great story, Vinny, because it's weird because I've just been born into it. I've never really thought about where people come from, because typically I suppose people outside the UK or the area and stuff like that might be, coming across Arsenal because of what's on TV and what's on social media. Like you say, they're picking up that way, and there's huge support all around the world. But like you say, how do people come across it, pick it up? They might have a favourite player, but for me, it was from birth. But I love to hear it and how you've done it. You've seen several other teams. You walk in and you knew straight away, and it's
man,
yeah. Like when you meet your wife, your other half, and you go, "That's the one. That's the one."
Oh, I'm telling you, man, I can't shake it, and I just can't shake it. I can't, and I don't want to shake it. I absolutely love it, and this is I'm loving every moment of it. The highs, the lows, the works. I love it all. Absolutely love it. So don't underestimate the work that you're doing. Not only are you, speaking to people that are Arsenal fans, you could be encouraging someone to go to a game who hasn't been to a game before. Do you know what I mean? You could be encouraging someone that's sitting on the fence to maybe swing the Arsenal way.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff, and I think I genuinely never thought about it like that. I'm doing this for me, and because I suppose I've got into it more in recent years, because you had the dark ages when kids and stuff growing up, you have less time, and I've always followed a guy, Tom Canton. I don't know if you come across him. So he's the Gooner Talk, and I followed him for about 6 years, and I listen to him every day, and I have done religiously. Actually, you probably saw from one of the uploads, if you've watched back on the videos, I got one of his phone on shows, and it was my first. I was so nervous, but it and it kind of propels you from there. But he's kind of a little hero for me, and then
good.
and that's what happens. And I thought, do you know what, I'm going to do it myself. I just want to build a community. I want to kind of have people like yourself come on, Vinny, have a chat. Say the recent podcast I've done with my friend Josh, who's actually dropped a comment. I'll read you out in a second. But we're friends of from young, and we
Yeah,
haven't spoken for several years because life's lifing and it's getting in the way.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he dropped some comments in a live show I did, and I was like, mate, come on, have a chat. And we're going
yeah,
to do a regular podcast on a Monday, just so we can. It's like just seeing your mate down the pub, having a chat about it.
yeah,
And if
yeah,
you can watch it,
yeah,
fantastic, great. So it's a really fun experience so far. But we're probably about 5-6 weeks in, I think,
yeah,
and it was really just purely I'm like, I'm going to do it, and it's only
yeah,
my time in an evening after work and stuff like that. But it's I really like it, and the fact that I'm actually making more Gooners, I
yeah.
quite like. I quite
The,
like
the
that.
thing is, the thing is, you absolutely are. So I'll give you one more thing, one more word of encouragement, and that is, so obviously I've started going. Although I really started in 2018,
Hmm.
absolutely fell in love from that day. It still took time of me, because I was invested in it then. I'd be watching everything on TV, consuming everything in social media, the works. But it's only the
Hmm.
last few seasons when I've been like, you know what? That's no longer enough for me. I
No.
want to be there live every game I possibly can.
Yes.
And so for the last few seasons, I'm investing my money in it now, my money and time and everything into it. So
You're
I'm
all in.
falling deeper and deeper. Now, look what you've done, right? You've
Mm.
invited me onto this chat. I've never done one of these before.
Yeah.
So you've just taken me to another level.
Wow. I'm glad I could. I've popped his cherry. He's live. He's ready to go. Oh dear. And Vinny, you are welcome back anytime, my friend. So, but I want to share this comment with you. So Josh he's the friend that we're talking about, and I just want to read it out because I can't read it and click on it. But he said, "Good work, Vinny. I think just keep being honest with your views and opinions. The real ones will appreciate it and will encourage new supporters of the mighty Arsenal." Well,
Mm,
well said. So, thanks, Josh, for the comment
absolutely.
on that. So,
Very well said.
exactly. But Josh is a good man. He's going to be back here on Monday with us. We're going to do a bit of a preview kind of chat about Tottenham game as well.
Yeah.
So that's, I mean, I love the North London derby. It's probably one of my, favourite games of the season, as well as the big games. I want revenge in Liverpool, and I want to beat Man
Yeah,
City. But
definitely.
obviously, North London and Tottenham, since Thomas Frank's come in, they're a different team. He's such a better manager, and that's all they
Mm.
need really, because they're not a bad team. But if you're an Arsenal fan, we don't like Tottenham. It's always been the way. So we've got to win it, and we've won. I think we'll look at the head-to-heads and stuff on Monday, but we've won a lot of games in the last few years because I've had poor managers, poor performances, deteriorating
Mm.
players and stuff like that. But I'm all optimistic. I know the Sunderland 2-2 feels like a loss, was one of the things we
Mm.
spoke about on the podcast. But
Yeah,
you know,
that hurt.
I think I don't know about you, Vinny. I was gutted more as well for this record. I really wanted to break with the clean sheets. I was so invested
Oh,
in that. That was such a big thing for me. I was like, oh, we've got to keep 9 clean sheets and beat. It was a 122-year-old record. It was
oh
crazy.
wow.
Yeah, so 103. So it was 1903 was the last
Yeah.
time. So we've matched the record. We could have beat it and set it, a new record, and that's for Arsenal.
Do you know what? I don't think I was even aware of that.
Oh, really? No, it's. I mean, I think I might have seen it in a couple of videos because it was such a big thing, and I was like, wow,
Mm.
it's a huge record. And obviously, back in 1903 or whatever it is, the different level of football and the pitches would have been much.
Atrocious. Yeah.
Yeah, completely different. But I don't know if it's hard to do it then or now. But
Yeah.
that's a hell of a record to match at least. And we've still got plenty of games we could do it. But I think losing that and conceding a goal, I was always worried to go, oh, how are we going to react when we do concede? Because we were just almost got used to it. Going, we're
Yeah.
not going to concede anymore. Conceded 2, which
Yeah.
gutting. But
Uh-huh.
and they played really well in that first half. I think for me, the second half, we come out a completely different team, and I think
Yeah.
they also sat behind the ball defending that 1-0. But they couldn't after. But we had probably the best half an hour I think we've played this season,
Yeah.
and that's not full strength as well. So I think we've done so well, and I think I really enjoyed what I saw, and I just want to kind of see more of it. But I think there was a little bit of tired legs there as well, and because we've got so many players coming back, which
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to be chucked straight back in, but you're going to see
yeah.
some minutes, kind of, last 20 minutes, half an hour of a game, depending on where we're at with it. You'll see some players returning, I think. So bring it on. But
Well,
how have you found the signings? I was going to say, Vinny, what's your favourite signing so far this season?
well, I mean, I was like many when we went to sign Madueke. I wasn't happy at all, to be honest with you, because I only had eyes for a striker because I knew that's what we needed more than anything else. So the fact that we weren't getting a striker over the line, we went for Madueke, I was not best pleased. However,
Different.
you've seen how
order.
he's performed.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm telling you, when he there's a few times when he's appeared on the right in place of Saka.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he looks amazing. He'll
So
never score. Well, I won't say never. I don't think he's not going to be as prolific a goal scorer as Saka, because Saka will cut in and then he's going to bag a few goals,
for sure.
and he still takes penalties. So Madueke is never going to match him for goals scored. But for what he actually does, for how much he threatens the opposition, he's absolutely brilliant. So as a signing, 100% behind that signing.
100%.
Gyökeres, for what he brings to the team overall, us having a focal point, striker
It
who
really
can.
does distract the defenders, doesn't he? I've
Oh
never
yeah,
seen Saka so free down that right hand side compared to, because normally you were doubling up, and it was like, he's got to learn to deal with it. And but now they're getting kind of pulled away from Gyökeres, so he does so much more off the ball. We want him to be banging goals in like he was at Sporting, and I think it will come, but maybe not to the level, because it's a different league and it is a tougher league.
Dude, he's not getting anywhere near the level of goals that he got at Sporting. He simply can't do it in the Premier League. It's way tougher opposition for him.
For sure. And there is a element he's got to adjust and, kind of get used to league. But he's getting there. He's still a highest goal scorer. He's scored, 6, I think, for the league so far. I think this is overall, but he's still Arsenal's highest goal scorer this season. But I think I'll be intrigued to see Havertz come back and the rotation of that, because he's been playing every game 90 minutes and running like no one's business. And
I mean, we run him into the ground, right? No surprise he's injured. You can see at the end of most games he's absolutely out on his feet. So I'm glad he's getting a bit of a rest now. To be honest, if he gets 20 goals across all competitions this season, I'm happy with that. And I say I'm happy because I know he gives so much more to the team than just those 20 goals. The space he creates for the other attackers is that we haven't seen that kind of thing before. So 20 goals across all competitions, I'm happy with that.
I think that's my expectations as well. 20 goals would be good. I think you've got the likes of Trossard keeps playing. You could see him back at 10 to 15 maybe. But we're getting goals all over the place. Saka's obviously generally solid. He'll be in double figures comfortably, I think. And it's just who else wants to contribute, because you've got the likes of Zubimendi scoring 2 in a game, which he's not really known for goal scoring, but 2 great goals as well. But we've got a lot of people. I'm trying to think who I think.
I want to know what you think of Eze.
He was one of my favourite signings of the season because of, I think there's an element of, I loved him as a player at Crystal Palace. To steal him away from Tottenham was sweet. And then it was the walk-on when he came on.
Oh,
you saw
I was there.
I was
there. That was brilliant.
But I just saw his face and he's like, I'm home. It was like that kind of thing. And I think he knows he's not up quite to the level yet, because he's still learning a whole new system. But, for England last night, coming off the left, he scored a blinder of a goal. He can play multiple positions, which is another reason I do like him. I just don't think we've seen the best of him yet. And I think it's still to come. I think he's an absolute baller. But I think he's had a hard gig so far. Obviously, he's kind of covering really the Odegaard role. But when he comes back, I'm interested to see if they push him left, if he's going to be on the bench, because Trossard and Martinelli are back and they've kind of been good on the left. But he's, if we rotate and we've got a lot of games, like we've already said, he could be kind of anywhere in multiple positions for us. But I kind of see that mid, you're not going to change Zubimendi or Rice realistically. They're kind of stable. They're your fixtures kind of in the field. I think when Odegaard's come back, as long as he's kind of fit, then I worry kind of where he's going to go.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's nothing to worry about, right? And the reason why I say that is, I'll say it again, seasons, especially I'd say over the last 5, 6, 7 years, because of the way the game's evolved and us having more games to play than ever, it's a war of attrition. It's
Yeah.
who can keep their strongest 11 on the pitch for as many minutes as possible is probably going to be the team that's going to win the league. And with the depth that we have, when, if Odegaard's out, we've got Eze to come in. Even if Odegaard's not out, you have to rotate to give people a rest. We've got Eze to come in. We've got Madueke to come in on the right. Now that we've got all of these options, knowing it's going to be a war of attrition across the entire... How many games is it a season nowadays? Must be near 60, right?
I reckon you're right. Yeah, with all the games, because now Champions League, 38, 8 in Champions League just to get through the group stage.
Yeah, exactly.
What Carabao Cup? If you're going through, you've got the semis two-legged as well, which is stupid still. And the Cup. There's a lot. I reckon you're right. Between 50, 60 games easily. Then you've got all the international stuff these guys are having to do in between, because they're all top quality players. Most are on internationals as well. So it's a hard life. I know they earn a hell of money, but also your body can only take too much.
It can only take so much. But that's because of that. That's the reason why I don't really worry about where Eze's going to play. I just know that he's going to feature.
Yeah, that's true.
I just know he's going to feature because he has to, because we need everyone. We need everyone.
Yeah, no, I think you're both spot on. You're bang on there, I think. But I have, start of the season as well, Mosquera. He was a nice little addition, for a young player. And everyone's like, he's like the baby. If Gabriel and Saliba had a baby, this would be Mosquera. And
dude, he's absolute mustard. He's absolutely brilliant. What a signing! How much did we get him for?
He was cheap. It was like 13 million or something. Really, really cheap. It was so
really cheap.
Valencia, I think it might have been a little bit. It might have been like 90 million euros, but it was only like less, 15 million maybe pound. But it was an absolute bargain. And Valencia, they didn't want him to go. Absolutely fuming. But he said, "I want to go." And he'd been playing senior football for a good 2-3 seasons. First 11, and he's got a lot of experience in a short space of time, which is incredible for his age. And he's just slipped in the treat. And what's nice is there's no drop off. The quality, there's no drop at all. But maybe a tiny bit, but it's just a different style and everything else. So we've been so lucky with that. But that's why we need people back.
But that's the whole thing. That's why, I mean, my prediction, although obviously we're not going invincible, my prediction for the season is that we win the Carabao Cup and we win the league. That's my prediction, and I'm not wavering on that until we get knocked out or it's mathematically impossible.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna take both of those titles this season.
Well, I think I don't think anyone's done what they call the domestic treble. So you've got those and plus the FA Cup. No one's ever actually done that, which would be interesting to see. Could be the first ones to do that. You never know, but we have to go on a hell of a run. Like you said, we've got the squad for it. I'm just excited to continue, and that's why I hate the international break.
Exactly.
You go, I want the rest players.
What's your prediction for the season?
Going in, that's a nice. That's, the light's better actually. I've got a nice little light.
Well, I just realised I've got a lamp here right next to me.
I can see you.
There you go.
It was better. That's much better.
Done that ages ago.
Beautiful, Vinny. Beautiful. But from the outset, I kind of wanted league. Champions League. It genuinely was. Well, I just wanted to at least win the league. Was like, if that was it, that's fine. I think.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get to a Champions League final because we were so close last year. We beat PSG. In the kind of group stages, and then obviously they found themselves later on down the line, and they were just unstoppable. And that was really frustrating watch because I thought we weren't far off it. To be fair. But obviously we got big game coming up by Munich. I have my concerns because they have equally been playing fantastic, but they did concede a goal in the Champions League the other day. They only conceded one. We've still conceded none in the Champions League. So I'm excited to see that game. I'm hoping to go to it, but I haven't heard yet. But I don't think all the big games. I go, no, actually, we're gonna go now. So I could see that happening. We'll go to this evening one, but it will be probably one of our bigger games, I think, because and I've got kind of PTSD from a few seasons ago when they knocked us out the season before. 2 legs. It was tough. It was a tough watch, and again, we deserve to beat them. But Vincent Kompany's done a great job. Kane's on fire. Luis Diaz is playing really well for them. Although I think he's not playing. I think he's either injured or banned. So I
Well,
don't think
I think he's banned. He got a red card against PSG, didn't he?
good.
So he's out for the next game or so.
Yeah, so that makes a big difference. So yeah, I'm excited. And I think it'll be a real test, and it's something that's a team that we feel is to the standard that we want to test ourselves against. So I'm very excited about that. But get through Tottenham. I mean, we've got Chelsea, and then Chelsea have been finding some form. So we've got 3 really tough kind of games. When we get back. So what's Saturday onwards? So we're going to be every 3 days or something. It's going to be a game. So it's going to be a busy week ahead. So I'm looking forward to that. That'll be good.
Do you know, I feel guilty. I've monopolised so much of your time.
That's all right. Do you know what? It was really coming on. And out of interest, is your name Two Guns Boxing? Is that you?
So yeah, that is me. That is me.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that's my. I don't understand how all these things. I think you. I don't know. I don't know how on YouTube, and I'm still trying to get used to all the social media stuff.
All good. So the link you've clicked enables you to put your name in. So you go by Gooner Video, which is a cool name, by the way. And then the Two Guns Boxing is probably what you set it up when you first went on YouTube.
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
You could probably change
it. Ago.
But yeah, but it's all good. But yeah, you could definitely change it if you ever wanted to. But
Okay.
what's the Two Guns Boxing about, out of interest?
Oh no, I used to. Well, I was not even amateur, but I used to do a lot of like white collar type level boxing. So that's where it came from. So when I first started watching YouTube, that's the name I guess I must have typed in. And that's when I used to be a lot fitter and a lot younger then.
Basically, don't mess with Vinny still. He's still taking.
No, I'm not like that.
No, fair play. But no, Vinny, I do really appreciate me coming on. We'll have to do it again because obviously I really appreciate anyone supporting it. Literally such a young channel. For me, it's just I just want to get out content, have fun, build this little community of people like yourself who want to come and have a chat. And sometimes you go, I want to chat to someone. I don't have anyone immediately to chat to. Jump on, have a chat. Even if it's in the comment box or the phone in for me tonight was literally just like, let's see who's on. And it's great that you've come on because you've saved me talking to myself for an hour.
Well, here's the thing, right? So I've seen a lot of the other the really big YouTube channels, and I've always wondered why they don't do phone-ins. So when I saw you, I literally just happened to click on your channel, and I saw you actually doing a phone-in. I thought, bloody hell! I've always thought the big channels should do this, but they don't. Yeah. So when you were doing, I was like, yeah, definitely going to jump in.
I just thought, let's try it. There's no harm, no foul. And I mean, in fairness, the guy I followed, like I was saying about Tom Canton, so he's done the things which I jumped on, and I was just trying to work out how to do it. And it's actually pretty easy with I use a thing called StreamYard, which enables me to put backgrounds on and split the cameras and stuff like that. It's really good, but it enables me to send that little link in, and it's so easy. You click on it and you're in. It's so simple, and as long as you've got a phone, anyone can join. But
I guess, is it all in real time, or can you put a little bit of a delay on it, just in case someone says something that's not appropriate?
It is in real time because it is live. It's not appropriate for children and all that sort of stuff. But we've been pretty. I'd say we're clean anyway, so we've been fine. But I think after this, then you just tweak a couple of bits after. But yeah, if you ever wanted to get into it and you need any advice, I'm learning as I go, and I'm always an open book if people need help. But for me, it's purely just hobby, and if it turned into everything, great. If we make some more Arsenal fans out there, then great. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to be watching Arsenal for a long time, so be it.
Good stuff. It's been amazing talking to you. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem, Vinny. Lovely to meet you. All right. Okay. See you again. All right.
Cheers, buddy. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. What a lovely guy. Vinny, my new best friend, I think, on this. But if anyone else wants to jump on, we've got a few people watching. You just look at the link in the description. I don't know, Josh, I know you were in there earlier, but anyone else who fancies a chat, Vinny was an absolute legend, and it was really, really good to speak to him. And obviously, Vinny, if you're watching, you'll be able to see this. Obviously, it will come up on YouTube to watch back after. So if you want to see yourself, you can do whatever you want with the footage. If you want to show friends, family, share it, you're absolutely welcome, my friend. And hopefully we'll have a catch up, and we'll do a phone in again if it's been popular. But we'll see what the response is after. But anyone else in the comments we're still streaming on TikTok. Apologies that I've probably ignored everyone. But anyone over in TikTok want to join us and come over to YouTube? We've been going 54 minutes, but I'm still happy to do a little bit longer if someone wants to come and have a chat. All you've got to do is go over to YouTube. There is a little link in the description. You click on that, and it will enable you to put your name in, and then it will pop up. You just have to have your phone or camera, and you have to be over the age of 18. Hopefully nice and self-explanatory. But if no one's around, it's absolutely fine. We've had a really good chat with Vinny tonight, and I do really appreciate him jumping in. And it's really interesting. I think that the real big thing I took away from that is the influence. Actually, I've never really considered the influence we may have as, you know, a YouTube or social media, about influencing potential, you know, neutrals who are maybe not a fan of Arsenal but like what they see, and everything else. I think that's a really interesting insight and take, because I never considered it, you know. And I'll be interesting for anyone watching, if you got to this point, comment, join, tell us how you fell in love with Arsenal, how you joined us as a team, because, you know, there's a huge fan following here, and it's amazing actually from, you know, from Vinny's story, actually how he found and come across Arsenal. It wasn't until recently. I don't know how Vinny was. We didn't talk about ages or anything like that, but he's found it in maybe a slightly more later in life, so the last sort of 7-8 years. But he's found him, loved them. That was his team. He knew instantly by just going to a game. And I've been lucky enough myself to go to the old Highbury, and I think it was an Alan Smith Memorial. It was my first ever game with my dad, and that was sort of, you know, you're in. You know, it's completely different when you see it on telly to being live. The atmosphere and everything else around you, you can't beat it. And you know, the unfortunate thing is football's expensive, and it is really hard to always make every game and stuff like that. If I ever get a chance to get a season ticket, I'll absolutely go for it, and I'll work out the paying for it after. But I think if you've got the chance to go and share that with family, my children, my sisters, and stuff like that, and their other halves, it would be something I'd absolutely want to do and share. And even you doing it on a joint, it'd be absolutely great to go. But you know, we're gonna come up to the hour mark. If no one comes on, we come up to 56 minutes. No one wants to jump on. Any comments over in TikTok you want to get involved, but from this side of things, I'd love to come and speak to you on our YouTube channel as well. So it's Dan's All About Arsenal 1886. If you go on there, find us. There's a live going now. Obviously, you can jump on. In the description, there is a link. Click it on, and it will go into a StreamYard and just enter your name, and then it will then pop up saying you're in here, so we can have a chat. And if you want to chat, I'm happy to stay on longer. But I appreciate you might not be Arsenal fans on the TikTok, and obviously people on here. I'm assuming you either know who we are. I've got 3 people watching. Comment below who's watching for me now, so it's always good to know. Obviously, I imagine it may be Vinny, it may be Josh. Josh, I appreciate, mate. We're be catching on Monday, so it's absolutely fine. But anyone else who fancies a chat, you've got 3 minutes, and I'm going to go. But obviously, so previewing our kind of next podcast show as well. So myself and Josh, we did our first one Monday. Next one, we're going to do 8:30 every Monday is the plan, subject to obviously our availability and everything else. And if we can't do a Monday, we'll let you know. We'll do a different day, or maybe pre-record something, worst case. But I think it's nice to do it organically and live. I think it makes a huge difference. And if there's anyone who wants to interact as we go, we can answer questions and stuff like that. And for us, it's really just, you know, for me, the start of the channel was to build a community and just talk to the likes of a Vinny, you know, someone who's an Arsenal fan, wants to talk more about the team, just get people's perspectives, because we've all got our own thoughts and ideas, and it's just great to share them. There's no harm in doing so. But you know, I'm a big fan of the club, you know, say born fully into it. But I'm looking forward to the games ahead. The season ahead is looking good. I'm looking forward to the return of some injured players we've had as well. I think out of all the ones, I think I'm looking forward to. I'm really interested to see Havertz back, but you know, with Gyökeres alongside him, I just think it'll be an interesting duo. I think if they could manage to kind of get them Gyökeres in front, maybe a false 9, that would be great. But and Vinny, I'll put your comment up here so you can see it. Look, Dan's Friday Night Live. Maybe it's a Friday thing, Vinny. Maybe we just do Fridays. We'll have a chat. So I'm getting to the age where I don't go out anymore. So it's absolutely fine to do so. But it's been an absolute delight, you know, this evening. I really have enjoyed actually doing it. Yeah, and it was really literally, I've decided about an hour before to go, let's stick something out there. Let's see who's around. There'll always people appreciate on TikTok who will like it, follow it, and support and everything else. But obviously, it's a big thing to come into a channel and show your face as well. So, Vinny, brave brand, man. Obviously, I've done it a little while now, so I'm a bit more used to it. he's not too bad. I mean, once you get chatting about, he's like your mate down the pub, and you can just have a chat about something you really like together, which is cool. And I love it. You know, I absolutely love it. So, but obviously, comment below what we think the score's going to be, maybe on the Tottenham game. That would be great as well. It's a tricky one because can we go at home? Can we not concede? I think so. And I've said from other videos, I'm doing a 2-0 all year round, and see how we go. But I think we'll get a couple. I just don't want Richarlison to score, I think is the honest answer. But we'll see. But I appreciate everyone who's watched all the way to the end. We've hit the hour mark. Way, as longest stream ever. But I appreciate everyone who's watched and logged on and watched after, you know. And obviously, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'll be doing some more shows along the way. We'll do some standalone stuff. I'm still working on bits on the background once I get better at editing, just more about the trophies we've won, the last time we've won it, and bits like that. Is something I'm working on in the background, but it's just takes time. So keep an eye out for those. But again, appreciate it. And I will see you in the next one. Next stream will be Monday with Josh. But thanks again, everyone.